You're watching Meet the Candidates here at Davis Media Access for the November 3rd, 2020 election cycle. During COVID, we don't have access to our studios here at DMA, and we're recording all these interviews using a remote platform. Things may not quite look the same, they may not sound the same as what we're used to, but we firmly believe that candidates need this opportunity and voters need the opportunity to hear directly from the candidates. And joining me now is Carlos Santamaria, who is running for the State Senate District 3 as the Republican candidate. Thank you for joining us, Carlos.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Let's start. I'm going to ask you why you are running for Senate.
Great question. And I felt back in late December, early January, I had noticed there were more than 7 Democratic incumbent candidates in the state Senate that were running unopposed. And I was the former Napa County Republican vice chair. And I thought constituents needed to have an option into who was going to represent them and who would represent them, period. So I put my name in as a write-in candidate in late January, early February, put together a pretty quick aggressive campaign to get on the ballot, and here I am. That was one of the reasons I believe that we need a different type of a leadership within the state legislature. We need to have more individuals represented, and we need to have an entrepreneur, somebody that understands businesses, real life work issues, and somebody that's a problem solver and a solutions provider in this seat. And the supermajority within the state legislature doesn't benefit most of the voters and the constituents within the district or people in California. So it's really important to have some balance in the state legislature, and that's what I hope to bring.
Okay, thank you. And can you tell us what experience or perspective you would bring to the office?
Sure. I'm very pleased to let others know that having worked in the private sector for over 30 years, being a successful industry leader, working in the built environment, working with construction, workforce development, and the trades, I bring real life work experience in working with employers, working with industry, and creating workforce development, career technical education, jobs, and training programs to students and incumbent workers. More than ever now with COVID, we see that there are a lot of individuals that are displaced in different sectors. And because of the high demand within the construction, energy, and utility sectors, we are very fortunate to still have a high demand of skilled workers needed. And those are the programs that I am working with in developing at the community colleges and within industry. We are also going to be looking at pulling in and incorporating underserved communities, at-risk youth, and formerly incarcerated individuals to further expand our workforce into areas and groups that of those individuals that really need a job at this time. So having 35 plus years of workforce development experience working in the construction trades, never been out of work, I believe that's a strong resume to bring voters to create jobs and internships.
And finally, what is one policy area you would be particularly eager to address if elected?
Well, I've had a lot of thought about that, and I believe it's the homelessness issue. I have a roadmap and a solution to deal with 2 of the 4 categories of homelessness, and that is transitional and episodic. We have an enormous workforce to draw from if we focus on those 2 categories of homelessness to be able to provide them with permanent housing and also to provide them with a lifelong career trade and knowledge with the skills. We have within the California community colleges a great infrastructure to be able to teach a number of different groups and individuals in a career technical pathway. And I believe the way that homelessness is currently being handled, it just gets worse and worse with no real solutions in sight. So I'm going to pull together and bring more of a private public sector partnership in dealing with internships, in jobs, in mentoring, and really try to tackle the homelessness issue of two of the categories that, prior to going into the chronic illness category that most of us see on television, on the streets, we want to address homelessness from a systemic standpoint and try to stop the growth of those individuals going into chronic homelessness.
Thank you so much. You've been listening to Carlos Santamaria on Meet the Candidates, Republican senatorial candidate for the 3rd District here in California. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.